The HyperX Cloud Revolver S, brand new headset from the folks over at HyperX Kingston. They have been taking some major strides in making some really fantastic gaming headsets over the past few years, and the Revolver S is the newest in the line, which boasts 7.1 surround sound for PS4, for the PC. Those definitely, and I think not unfortunately for the Xbox One. They are both USB powered with a dongle that does 7.1 surround sound, and they are also straight up stereo headphones with a mic attachment. Let's take a quick look at what we get in the box. Here's the box itself. You can see here, typical HyperX stuff. They always do a nice job with their boxings. Tells you a little bit about the Dolby Surround. It says what it works with, which is basically anything, at least with 3.5 millimeter. PC, Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, and Switch, I would imagine, Mac, and mobile. Let's take a look at what we get in it. First, we have the headset itself. And you can see here, it's a pretty nice headset. Pretty nice headset, really. You've got the steel. It has... One of the nice things is it has the steel band, but one of the complaints that people had about the original Revolver was that this would reverberate, and you could hear it all the way into the ear cups. But what they've done is they've taken some rubber grommets, and they have put them in here, and they have dampened that quite a bit. Has a suspension headband. We've seen the suspension headband in other headsets like the most recent Sony headset, the Platinum. That is just a strip of rubber, and it's not as comfortable as these by any kind of long shot. You've got memory foam, you've got leather stitching, you've got the HyperX logo here. One thing that I can say is when you put these on your head, they kind of feel like a heavy headset. When you put them on your head, this thing just sort of automatically goes to the right place for your ears, and you can adjust it a little bit, but they seem to float on your ears, which is the sign to me of a very nicely thought out and very well built suspension system. Some of those suspension systems don't quite work that same way, but this is effortless, and they are among the most comfortable headsets I have ever put on my head. I played for 3 hours with these on last night and never felt uncomfortable, not for a single minute. So that's saying something. The ear cups, I don't believe they're removable like the Cloud 2s are, but they are memory foam as well, and they are very, very comfortable. A little bit more of a gamery style with these this time around. This is a rubbery kind of matte textured thing. They are not open back. This is just for design. Plenty of wide open opportunities for your ears to be accepted into the holes. We've got a braided cable, which is about 3 feet long, terminating in a 3.5 millimeter jack, and then that of course can plug into this, which is your dongle, which can go mute, can turn on surround sound, and instead of like on the HyperX Cloud 2 having buttons on either side of these buttons, we have just a volume adjustment and we have a chat adjustment, which for PC will be very nice. Now another thing that when you have surround sound on, it just does a surround sound thing, and I'll talk a little bit more about the surround sound here in a little bit. But when the surround sound's not on, you have 3 sound presets that you can toggle with this button here. It also has this clip, which is nice just to kind of keep it from falling on the floor and getting rolled over by your chair or something. The mic is has a rubberized coating on it. It bends and does get, it stays pretty well where you want it to stay. I do have some mic tests that are going to go in here, and you're going to be able to hear what this thing sounds like. But one thing that I really like about it, now the Cloud 2s tried to do this as well, but they had a little bit bigger of a hole for them to go into. This guy just sort of sticks right in there. And if you did want to run around with these as your everyday headphone, then you could easily do that and just take this guy out and then stick it back in. Really easy. Really a pretty good sounding mic compared to the others. You've got this cable here, which is a split cable for mic and audio. That's longer. I'm going to guess this is probably about 6 feet. And it's longer to connect to the back of your PC if that's how you want to run with these. These headphones get pretty darn loud. They are a less sensitive headphone than the HyperX Cloud 2s. I believe the HyperX Cloud 2s were 50 ohms, whereas these I believe are 32. Right here, it talks about how these presets are vocal EQ LED, flat EQ LED, and bass boost. So 1 is the top, 3 is the bottom, and so this would be bass boost right here. Flat. I did play Battlefield 4 a little bit with the flat, and I kind of liked it. And this is voice EQ. Let's talk pluses and minuses. On the plus side for these, they are very well built. More well built than just about any gaming headset that I've come across. They have, you know, the steel headband really gives them a sense of being firm, and you're not gonna break them. They don't give really all that much. This suspension headband makes for comfort. These ear pads, very comfortable. On the plus side, the audio, a little bit more punch, I would say. A little bit more punch out of these, whereas the Cloud 2 was a little bit more neutral in its sound signature. These have a decent amount of bass, but not overwhelming. The sound signature from low, mid to high is pretty even, pretty balanced, so everything was great. For those of you who like to sound whore in FPS games and want to know what's coming at you from any direction, I found myself turning around and getting the drop on people who were coming up behind me several times last night in ways that I don't think I would have with other headsets that I've used. So while they're not real shrill in the treble, they do give you a lot of detail. And that detail is incredibly important in those kinds of games. So if you want detail, you want these headphones. Those are the pros. So now let's talk about what, if any, cons we might have. And there are a couple. I was pretty disappointed with the surround sound. The surround sound really just sounded like everything got spread out, but it lost a lot of detail and it sounded kind of hollow. I found that I could get used to the surround sound if I turned it on and played for a while, but immediately after I switched back to stereo, I was much happier. So straight up stereo is where these really shine, and that's where that detail comes from, and that's where the great sound comes from on these headphones. So keep that in mind as you are thinking about picking these up. I also want to do that mic test for you so you can hear a comparison between the mics. I've got the Cloud 2 mic, I've got the Revolver S mic, and I also have the Mod Mic 5.0 for you guys to check out. This is a test of the microphone on the HyperX Cloud 2. This is a test of the microphone on the HyperX Cloud 2. This is a test of the HyperX Revolver S microphone, a test of the HyperX Revolver microphone. This is a test of the AntLion Mod Mic 5.0, a test of the AntLion Mod Mic 5.0, going through a Sound Blaster ZX. There are the three mics. I think the Revolver S actually comes out looking pretty good. Should you buy the HyperX Cloud Revolver S? In a nutshell, yes. At $150, these things, while they're not wireless, and you can get wireless for that price and less, they have an amazing amount of features. They are high quality built. They are incredible sounding. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I can sometimes be a little bit of a stickler, but they sound incredible. I would say if you're looking for comfort, if you're looking for clarity and great sound quality, if you're looking for some versatility in how they can be used, I would say go out and pick up the HyperX Cloud Revolver S as soon as you can. I haven't been able to find them in stores, but they're available on Amazon, and they're highly worth their price tag. They tick a lot of the boxes that a lot of gamers are really looking for, so I would definitely check them out. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Have you checked these out, or do you have another favorite in that price range? $150 seems like the sweet spot for a really nice set of gaming headphones. So let me know what you think. Thanks for being here. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and if you did, well, then you're an awesome person. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Ask me questions. I'm always here to answer. And until the next time, this is the JTL, and I'm out.